Today I'm going to show you my favorite Pulvoron recipe. I'm going to show you 3 variations, the classic, the graham, and the cookies and cream. And to make it more attractive, we're going to dip our Pulvoron in chocolate. Let's get started. For the classic Pulvoron, you need 2 cups of toasted flour, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of full cream powdered milk, 3 tablespoons of shortening, 3 tablespoons butter or premium margarine. For the graham Pulvoron, you need 2 cups of toasted flour, 1/2 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup of full cream powdered milk, 1/2 cup of crushed graham, 5 tablespoons of shortening, 5 tablespoons of butter or premium margarine. For cookies and cream, you need 2 cups of toasted flour, 1/3 cup of sugar, 1/2 cup powdered milk, 1/3 cup of chocolate cookie crumbs, 1/4 cup of shortening, 1/4 cup of butter or premium margarine. First thing you need to do is you need to toast the flour. Alright? You can toast the flour either in a skillet or you can bake it in the oven. I prefer baking it in the oven, especially if you're making in big quantities, because you can put a lot of flour in the oven in the baking pan. If you're making a lot of Pulvoron, I suggest that you toast your flour in the oven because it's faster and it's easier. 300 degrees, and then you stir it every 10 minutes for 30 minutes. After that, you sift the toasted flour. By the way, for the flour, you can use any kind of flour, all-purpose flour, cake flour, bread flour, third-class flour, you can use that. Pastry flour, any kind of flour, any kind of wheat flour you can use. So, sometimes I have flour which I'm not sure if it's cake or bread flour. I save that and I toast it because for this recipe, you can use any kind of flour. And then, I have sugar. I use white sugar. And then next, powdered milk. Some people use skim milk. I always use full cream powdered milk. And then you mix this together. And next thing we need to do is we need to melt the shortening and the butter. Alright? This is the classic Pulvoron. If you want to make Pulvoron, always remember that you have a choice of fat to put in. You can use shortening, you can use butter, you can use margarine. You can use a combination. If you want to sell, always use shortening or margarine because butter may have a very superior flavor. However, butter has a very short shelf life. With shortening, you can extend the shelf life of your Pulvoron. You can also add potassium sorbate if you want your Pulvoron to last longer. So here, I have here, this is butter. This is shortening. Please do not use cooking oil. By the way, if you use shortening, always use butter flavor. Add butter flavor. Every time you make Pulvoron, from experience, sometimes you need more butter or more shortening to bind. You need more fat. Sometimes you need less, okay? So you should always have extra butter on hand. I'm adding about 1 tablespoon of butter, melted butter. How do you know you have enough? We will do a Pulvoron test. You press it with your hand. If it forms a ball like this, or it forms a firm mixture that binds, then you know you have enough, okay? Alright, so here, we're going to mold this now. To mold, you can use any Pulvoron mold. This is what they call the Goldilocks mold because it was Goldilocks who started using this one. But I call this a flower mold, okay? Here, put enough, more than enough. And then, always rub the molder either on a ceramic, glass, or plastic plate. Do not use an aluminum or stainless or any metal tray because no matter how well you clean it, some bits of metal will stick to your Pulvoron. Okay? So you do this. press it. Press it very well, and then clean this off. You prepare a tray here with plastic, and then like this, okay? And then you clean this and do another one. Don't worry, the smooth side is on the other side. Okay, I want to share with you a tip. After you mold all this, you put it in the refrigerator for about 30 minutes before you wrap them. Then you are sure that it will not melt, okay? Then again. Alright. For the Graham Pulvoron, I have here, by the way, to the classic, if you want to add pinipig, you want to add peanuts, you want to add dried mangoes, you just add it to the basic recipe, for the classic recipe, and then you just add a little bit more butter so it will bind, okay? And then we have crushed Graham, sugar, powdered milk. Another note also, another tip is the more powdered milk you add, the better tasting your Pulvoron is. But if you're selling, you will have a problem with the costing, okay? Every time you increase the powdered milk, please decrease the flour, okay? So for instance, you want to add 1/4 cup of powdered milk, make sure you reduce the flour by 1/4 cup also. Okay? You mix this well. Always mix this well before you add the butter or the shortening. After you mix, do the Polvoron test again before you start molding. And also, please take note, do not add like jam or halea to the mixture. For instance, you want to make ube. Okay? For ube, you can add dehydrated ube powder or you just add flavoring. But do not add halea or ube jam. Okay? Let's do the Polvoron test again. Press. Good. So, we will mold this too. I use a tray, it's easier than the plate. Okay? So, here. See? Okay? Then we do another one. Okay? And then we'll continue with the rest. Let's do cookies and cream. So you have toasted flour. You have full cream powdered milk. If you'll notice, I reduced the sugar a little bit because the cookies are sweet. However, if you want to retain the same amount of sugar, you can do that. Anyway, the difference is only like 1.5 tablespoons. If you want to make mocha Polvoron, you can add instant coffee and then put flavoring, mocha or coffee flavoring. Okay, mix this very well. And then you add shortening. As I said, you can use all butter. I always like to use a combination of butter and shortening. Alright. And then we do the Polvoron test. I'm not using gloves, but you know my hands are clean and dry. Press. See? It will break a little bit, so I'll add maybe half a tablespoon. Okay. So press. So this one is good. So right. As I said, don't worry about that because we will use the other side. I'll put this in the refrigerator for 30 minutes or in the freezer for 15 minutes. I have many recipes to share with you. If you're interested, please like, share, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you can be alerted when a new video is uploaded. Once you have refrigerated the Pulvoron and you take it out, you're ready to serve them or to sell them. However, if you want to make it something special, we will dip it in chocolate. So I'll show you today how to dip them in chocolate, and we will put some decor. Okay, we're going to use dark and white chocolate. I'll show you how to melt this. You can melt this in the microwave. You can melt this in the double boiler. I melted this in the microwave 1 minute, but 1 minute in 30-second increments. So 30 seconds and then another 30 seconds. Don't do 1 minute straight. First, we're going to dip this in dark chocolate. So like this, halfway, or maybe a little bit more. Okay. And then let it drip and put it on a tray lined with plastic. You can do half, you can do whole. If you want to put some sprinkles, put it before it starts to set, because once it sets, you cannot stick the sprinkles anymore, right? Okay, let's do white for this one. Don't forget to line your tray with plastic, otherwise you won't be able to take your Polvoron out of the tray. And this one too, I'm going to decorate this with some sprinkles, whatever you want to do. Here you can see, once it loses its gloss, you know this is already set. The chocolate is already set. So if you want to dip this in another color, you do this, hold this, and dip. Now you have two-tone. Sometimes if your white chocolate is too thin, you might have to dip it twice. Here, okay. Then let's do this one. It's still a little wet, but this will do. As long as you can touch it, it's okay. Now these are your chocolate coated Pulvoron, sorry. And then I will show you something else. You can also dip the whole thing in chocolate, okay? Now you need a fork, and then you dunk this in. Just be careful that you don't break the Pulvoron. If you have a chocolate dipping fork, you can use that. You can use a pastry bag, but just for now, I'll just use a fork to make the lines. I want to make the lines a little bit darker. Okay, and then you get toothpick. You draw a line like this. Okay, and then pull back. This is a feather design. This is a similar one, but this one, the chocolate lines are thinner. Okay, here, so that it will look pretty, you just cut off the excess. Alright? But you have to wait until it sets, because if it's wet, you won't be able to handle it. Okay, so let me put this on the show plate together with the other Pulvoron. Here is our Pulvoron. We have the classic, the cookies and cream, and the graham, and then we have the chocolate covered Pulvoron. I hope you'll enjoy this at home.